Listen, you can do this sometimes, like the way, like when Kamala Harris did this during like the presidential debate, it was really good. But like if you just like repeatedly like screech, I'm speaking, it just comes off as cringe. This is, I think, like this is how I always do my abortion debates. It's like, okay, well, what to you separates a moral object from a moral subject? Can't be life, because plenty of things that are alive aren't considered moral subjects. We wouldn't consider it immoral for me to fucking cut down a tree.
At how many weeks do you think that a fetus is viable?
Well, viability.
Oh, now we're going down the viability road. Oh, please, someone make a good argument.
What qualifies something as being a living organism? Being a living organism simply means, can you survive?
Oh, this infuriates me so much, because Charlie Kirk is making good points here. He's making a good point, and there's so many good points that she could be making her talk. He doesn't do that.
Going into the third trimester and breaking babies' backs.
No, let him speak. Please let him speak.
With syringes while the babies are crying.
I'm sorry, I don't trust you guys more than the TikTok debater. I'm sorry.
Being born alive and then being dead on the operating table.
No, he doesn't get to respond to that. Also, why did he use the word suffering? I feel like, do fetuses prior to like 20 weeks, do they really have a capacity to suffer? Does something with no brain have a capacity to suffer? Literally no brain, because zygotes literally don't have brains. Obviously, at some point they develop a brain, but like...
at a certain point, it will become a sentient being in the future. The same way if I keep engaging in sex with my girlfriend, it'll be a baby in the future, yet I don't care about the
unless
sperm.
you're infertile, which we don't know. But so let's see.
Oh, wow, good argument, Charlie. What would you say to him? I would say the question I would ask is, only the first topic is actually like interesting. It's abortion, and the rest are like worthless culture war topics. The reason I do want to react to this though is because they have two famous TikTok debaters on it. They have Parker sitting here, and I forget this guy's name, but he's another TikTok debater similar to Parker sitting right there.
My first prompt is, abortion is murder and should be illegal.
Whatever.
Right first?
Yeah.
Okay. Abortion is the forcible ending of the viability of a being in utero, otherwise known as a fetus. Do we agree that's what abortion is?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, great. And then murder is the intentional taking of life, different than killing or sudden death. So murder would be the intent with intent taking another life. Do we agree with that?
Okay.
Okay, and then
Another life. Interesting framing here. Okay,
we agree
let's
that
go.
murder in general in society should be illegal.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So yeah, no, I do want to preface that I'm a Catholic. So I think one really important thing that the Bible says is to not judge. And just going back to the topic, I think there's a big difference between, cells in utero than a living, breathing, existing being.
Oh my God! Oh, we're going down the whole. He's gonna say, "Oh, you don't think you think they're clearly a person already." Unique human genome. They're obviously living. Every scientist says it's living. But he's not. We're not good. We're never gonna get to like maybe it's a life, but is it a moral subject? How do we? This is, I think, this is how I always do my abortion debates. It's like, okay, well, what to you separates a moral object from a moral subject? Can't be life, because plenty of things that are alive aren't considered moral subjects. We wouldn't consider it immoral for me to fucking cut down a tree. At least if it's my tree or whatever. Yeah. It's clearly all about conscious experience. And there's no moral wrong happening when you terminate a pregnancy before a fetus is conscious.
I do believe it's murder, and that's just my personal belief, right? I don't believe in telling people what to do with their bodies. That's not up to me, and it's not up to us.
Students can raise their flags when they would like to see a different speaker. Okay.
Should we prevent murder in society?
Majority raise the speaker a new speaker may step into the debate.
Yeah,
should be illegal.
But I think that it's really different, right? Because, these people aren't.
Okay, what's your name?
Naima.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, can I just ask, at how many weeks do you think that a fetus is viable?
Well, viability.
Oh, now we're going down the viability road. Oh, please, someone make a good argument.
I'm asking you, at how many weeks do you think
at about
a fetus
20
is viable?
weeks, a baby can survive outside of utero.
So it's actually 24 to 26
it's
weeks?
20. The youngest ever in a NICU unit actually happened in San Diego, not far from here, and
Why does it matter? Why are we basing moral rights off of whether something can live on its own? Why? That's a dog shit definition or differentiating between moral subject and moral object.
20 weeks.
Okay, so under Roe v. Wade, 93% of abortions happened in the first 13 weeks of pregnancy. That's 93% of the abortions happened well before a fetus is technically viable as a form of life.
So let's go into viability. So what is it about, let's say, a 6-week baby that has a heartbeat, its own DNA, fingerprint, brainwaves, that is less moral worth than an 88-year-old right now with dementia in a home down the street? That person requires assistance, requires help. Why is it that the 6-week baby is of less moral worth?
Well, first of all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
Well, what does fetus mean?
Oh my God. Oh no. What is fetus? Don't you know it means little one in Latin? Holy shit. Oh my God. Abortion should be such a fucking easy win for people, but people who don't think about morality too much, don't have like a super grounded out position on it.
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
What the?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Is this
It means
This is a fucking dumbass talking point from him, by the way, that like all pro-lifers use. It's such a dumb talking point. God, it infuriates me.
His smile is very creepy. Okay.
Smiling is creepy.
No, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go back to
so-
we're losing track here.
No, but what species is the fetus?
The fetus is not a species yet. It's technically classified as a parasite until it is.
It's such a. Oh my god, abortion is such an easy win if you just don't do these dumbass talking points.
Right.
Oh my
So,
I
god.
wanna talk to you about something very
I can't
quickly.
let you get past that. Are you
I'm
saying
sorry.
you're saying a baby is a disease or a tumor?
A parasite is not a disease and a tumor. Those are not the same thing. A
Oh,
parasite
parasites.
is defined as something that cannot survive outside of its host. A baby, before it is viable, cannot survive outside of a woman's womb.
Got it. So let's extrapolate that.
It is not a living organism.
Are old people with Alzheimer's and dementia that are being assisted every day, are they parasites?
No, they're not parasites. They're human beings who are on the brink of death.
Got it. So my
They're not going to be able to survive.
4-month-old that
Gang,
requires
what's up,
mom's
Sergeant?
breast milk
Welcome back.
and requires daily changes and feedings cannot survive without its own. Is my 4-month-old a parasite?
Your baby can breathe on its own. Your baby can drink water from its mouth to its stomach.
But it cannot.
Your baby can
it
eat
hunt?
food.
Can it gather? Can it reason?
But that's not what qualifies something as being a
okay, so
living
let's
organism.
get
Being a
back
living
to
organism
terms.
simply means, can you survive?
Oh, this infuriates me so much because Charlie Kirk is making good points here. He's making a good point, and there's so many good points that she could be making in response. He doesn't do that. Yeah, he's running down a really good line of argument right now, based of why he's correct. You shouldn't treat viability as what separates moral objects from moral subjects. He's totally correct. Like this is a good way to Or sorry, he's explaining why it isn't a good way. What would you say to him? I would say the question I would ask is, what do you think separates moral objects from moral subjects? And then we'll run down the road. He's making a good argument for why what should separate moral objects from moral subjects shouldn't be viability. He's right there, but what he's wrong about is whether life separates a moral object from moral subject. But he doesn't even think life separates a moral object from a moral subject, because he's probably not a vegetarian or vegan, and he probably and like he would never consider like cutting down a tree immoral when that's alive or whatever. But the I'm talking girl is really annoying. Did you see this before? Yeah, I said in the intro, like, you know, you can do that sometimes. There are ways to do the like the I'm not talking thing, or sorry, like the I'm speaking now, but sometimes it just comes off as cringe if you like screech it repeatedly.
Outside of a womb, outside of your host.
Got it. So I just want to make sure I'm clear. Why does that then equate to moral viability?
It equates to scientific.
God, oh my God! Why does he think a presumably a unique human genome is what grants you moral viability?
Pick
Why?
Oh.
Under what standard?
Because it is not alive, and you are advocating for the rights of something that is not technically a life,
Got it. So what is it? Something
while
that has
sacrificing the needs of the human woman who is alive.
Got it. So, but a mom can survive
Yes.
without the baby in her, right?
Yes.
The baby cannot survive without the mom.
Yes.
But a mom cannot survive without her lungs. So it's not her body; it's in her body. It's not
Yeah,
her
I
DNA,
know.
so it's not her choice. So it's a
It actually is directly her DNA.
this
Thank God.
could take
Okay.
a while.
Okay, first of all,
Do
there's
we have our terms correct?
let the man speak. the base TikTok debater.
actually no.
Okay.
So first of
Okay,
all,
got it.
I would like to refine our terms. I
Got
have
it.
2 points to bring up after that, though. So you define murder as like intentionally like killing a human being.
Mhm.
I think that's a very poor way to define murder, because if someone were to like break into my home and point a gun at the heads of me and everybody I love, and I intentionally kill them to prevent them from killing my family, I don't think I murdered them, right? So I would define murder as the unjustified termination of a human life.
You're making a good point. Let me further clarify that. So self-defense is
Right.
very warranted.
Exactly, right?
But I can see where you're going to go with how that has to go with abortion, but we can go down that journey in a second.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I kind of do want to give you my argument insofar as why I'm pro-choice, why I think it's justified. But first, I think that, your position is quite absurd, right? Because you're saying that it is murder to kill a human being, right, at any point in development, especially when it's in the mother's womb. My question to you would be, well, does this make women with IUDs murderers? Because it is the case that in some scenarios,
What's your
an
position
IUD
on
will
abortion? I think it should be legal up to about 20 weeks.
allow for conception to occur, meaning there's a unique human life there, but it will prevent its implantation, intentionally killing it.
Well, no, preventing implantation is not necessarily the same thing as terminating a fertilized egg. For example, if you take Plan B, again, it's not the same thing. Preventing the production of progesterone is not the same thing as terminating a being that has been fertilized. You do not know for a fact that the egg has been fertilized. You do not know that. We need an IUD.
Okay, yeah. So preventing fertilization or implantation to the uterine lining is killing a conceived zygote. So what happens? A sperm goes into the egg, right? The egg becomes fertilized. It's a conceived zygote. In some cases, it will prevent the implantation of the conceived zygote, killing the conceived zygote.
In some cases, correct.
So what do you say? In some cases, women with IUDs are murderers?
Of course not. They're not murderers. We do not know for a case. That's like saying that.
So what's the difference between an IUD killing a conceived zygote and like a mother going to Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus in her womb?
Well, so you're asking two separate things. If they knew for certain, to be more clear, that I have a fertilized egg and I'm going to take a drug to...
Well, the line of argument of the IUD is, you know for certain that you could get pregnant, and you know for certain that the IUD could conceivably kill a fertilized zygote, all right?
Prevent that fertilized egg from attaching to...
There are obviously different levels of intent here, but like we would never say it's okay. I'm trying to draw an analogy. We would never say it's okay to like do something that you know potentially could kill a real human being. Like, you know, if I am blindly throwing rocks off of a like freeway overpass, and like technically that could, I don't know for certain that's going to kill a human being, but we'd never say it's okay just because I don't know for certain it's going to kill a human being. This is technically a debate orgy.
That is an act of killing or murder.
True.
Okay, so do you think all murderers should go to jail?
Do I think all murderers should go to jail? I mean, on third degree murder. However, no, I don't think women that got abortions or had IUDs should go to jail. Because I think that they have been deceived by mass culture and mass propaganda. Secondly, the people who should go to jail are the abortionists, who are the ones that have been putting the abortion pill, the ones that have been doing procedures, the ones that have been going into the third trimester and breaking babies' backs.
No, let him speak. Please let him speak.
With syringes while the babies are crying.
I'm sorry, I don't trust you guys more than the TikTok debater. I'm sorry.
Being born alive and then being dead on the operating table.
No, he doesn't get to respond to that.
You should go to jail.
Okay, whenever I'm talking about this discussion, I always go to the question of what about in the case of the mother when her life is in danger? Because I'm a big believer. I don't know.
Well, that's just self-defense. He's going to say
or not, but even so, I mean, I don't want to say murder is justified. Guys, wait, let me just get this one point, and then you can vote me out. Give me 1 second. Say the mother gets pregnant, and she knows that if she gives birth, she's going to die. She has some kind of health complication. Then what do you do in that case?
Section.
I don't know what that means.
It's a C-section. They do an insert.
Guys, wait, hold on. Give me one second.
They go right below the belly button, and they deliver the baby. And after she doesn't have to give birth. It's technically birth, but it's much safer. So that's actually safer than an abortion procedure. What's your name?
Deedon.
Nice to meet you.
I would say with abortion, I think it's very complicated. But I think the issue that I have, primarily with your stance of being pro-life, that there's no nuance. There's women who are being forced to travel hundreds of miles to access abortion care, even in cases of rape in certain states that they're not giving any sort of allowance for that. And I think, you know, a lot of people who are pro-life, they say that they're pro-life, but I feel like they're really pro-birth because with firearms, the United States has some of the highest firearm deaths out of OECD nations, right? And we can acknowledge that that's for children who are actually living and breathing. So I feel like abortion, while it is, I can definitely see your point. I just think that it should be allowed in some circumstances.
Okay, great. I'm happy to get into the gun violence stuff later, but I want to really stay focused on abortion.
Right.
You can say you see my point. Can you see the world also where, since we know it's a human life, that it should be illegal since we don't allow murder in our society?
Well, that's
Nonfon, what view on guns? I don't have super strong opinions. I would say like the two things that I would support for gun control would be like universal background checks, or I guess 3 things. Universal background checks, like red flag laws, and waiting periods all seem to be pretty or like relatively effective. Although I've seen disputes over that data. There was like some Reason TV thing that I watched one time that was like, oh, the data on gun control is not actually that good. That might be true. I don't know. I need to do more reading into it. But like waiting periods and red flag laws and universal background checks seem to protect people's Second Amendment right to a reasonable degree, while at the same time, obviously protecting people from gun violence. We would do it to ensure the highest chance to experience a high quality of life. What, euthanasia? What?
Abortion is not being done willy-nilly. It's like the life of the mother is always...
How many abortions do you think we have every day in America?
I'm not sure.
6,000.
I'm honestly not sure. Maybe,
I think it's about 6,000.
4,000 a day. So it is kind of willy-nilly. We have 1.6.
That's willy-nilly? That's like, we're a country of like 300 million people, right? I don't know if that's willy-nilly.
I just want to clarify, the thing that you're aiming for is less abortion, right? That would be what you would want, or at least no abortion.
Eventually, it's also a protection of those that can't protect themselves. But yes, and that's why after the reversal of Roe versus Wade, we saw abortions go down dramatically in Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. We saw thousands of babies that are now alive and well that are able to have amazing lives thanks to the reversal of Roe versus Wade.
I don't think a lot of that is true.
Well, it is, but
it's not true, because when you make abortion illegal, it doesn't actually decrease the
So
amount of
that's a
abortions
nice
that happen.
talking point. In Texas, the numbers show
no.
different. The birth rate has gone up.
Yeah, legal goes down, but illegal abortions still happen. Abortions still happen outside of
So
whatever data you're
that's
showing.
not true, but let's just say so. Well, if you
40?
you want to, well, first of all, if you count the abortion pill, you're
I
right.
once saw
That's a
Kirk
separate
100
thing
feet
than
away
a
in Austin.
Chemical abortion,
Really?
and surgical abortion are different things.
He
I'm not
does a lot
debating-
of stuff like
I'm not-
this, so that
I'm not
makes
debating
sense.
you. I'm debating her. So if you want to do the flags and come back in, try and be faster next time. So let me ask you this. So the question is, we should try to limit unjust suffering of human beings, right?
Sure.
Okay, that's my position, is that there's unjust suffering of anywhere between 1.4 to 1.6 million abortions a year of human beings
Charlie
that are being
Kirk, welcome
massacred in
back,
the womb.
pull in. Yep.
And so that's not a women's rights issue, that's not a men's rights issue, that's just a human rights issue.
Okay, the best way to decrease abortions happening is proper sex education.
Also, why did you use the word suffering? I feel like, do fetuses prior to like 20 weeks, do they really have a capacity to suffer? Does something with no brain have a capacity to suffer? Literally no brain, because zygotes literally don't have brains. Obviously, at some point they develop a brain, but like, do they have a capacity to suffer? That's interesting. That's a really interesting point, man. Maybe they should focus on that more. Maybe they should do that. Maybe we should run down that line of argument. One of my favorite American politicians, but he's not a politician.
Limiting abortion and making abortion illegal does not actually decrease the amount of abortions that
So
happen.
what is your evidence of that?
What is my evidence of that?
Because we have increased sex education in the last 30 years.
No, our sex education is so bad in America.
Well, by bad, what do you mean by that? We have more access to birth control for young kids. We have more kids that are
He's
living
even
in
a
birth control at a
political
younger age.
commentator.
We have more of that in our
He's never
public
been
school
elected
system.
or
We've
anything.
seen all the trends actually go in a negative direction.
Why are they letting this girl talk for so long? They didn't let the dean talk for a long
So,
time.
in fact, we see that the more sex education there is, the more disturbing those trends are. So you say that, let me ask you just one more thing. You say that if we make abortion illegal, people will still do it. Should we then just make gang violence legal? Because
No, I'm
people
saying
still
if you
do it?
actually wanted to decrease the amount of abortions that happen, you wouldn't be advocating for to make abortion illegal. You'd be advocating for
Does
all of
that
these other
logic
things.
apply
Sex
to
education
stealing, looting,
stuff.
kidnapping?
What's the red flag? If a majority of people raise a red flag, then she has to
Arson
stop
and murder.
talking, and
Well,
somebody else
actually,
can
it
go
does
up.
because those are results
Bro needs to vacation to
of
Turkey
different
ASAP.
societal issues that you should be
Got it.
educating
So we
yourself
should
on
make-
rather than
Oh,
making
for a hair transplant?
We should
on
make,
front.
should we make kidnapping, arson, burglary, murder legal because they're symptoms of something else?
We should be helping society heal
Making
from those
based
things.
legal based.
We want less of those things. Should we just make them legal and we'll get less
Also,
looting?
welcome back, world famous Kirk. Oh,
You know,
Kirk.
actually, I'm a lesbian.
Lazarus.
Thank you.
Please, my boy, he has he's got like 10 minutes left. Please let him speak. Please let him speak.
Pedophiles, people who were married to children in the past and normalized in that society, should they go to prison?
Should pedophiles
Like, if you could go back in time, would you put
Oh, this is actually a good line of argument. Okay,
those
okay.
pedophiles in prison that married those children because it was normalized?
It's not terrible.
They were
We'll
deceived
be
into
in
thinking
5
it's okay.
10,
Would you put them in
5
prison?
You got to slow down.
Sorry.
Pedophiles should get the death penalty.
No, so you'd go back in the past, you give them the death penalty, even though they were deceived into thinking it was okay. But you said people who get abortions or women shouldn't go
Hold
to
on a second,
prison.
but it's not currently illegal.
Okay, regardless.
pedophilia
At
is
that time, it wasn't.
No, I would not go back and retroactively enforce laws where things were currently not
You
illegal.
wouldn't put pedophiles in prison in the past.
Hold on a second. When was it illegal? When was it legal in America?
Well, child marriage was legal in America throughout the early 1900s, and especially throughout most of society for thousands of years, especially in the Old Testament and in the Bible. Right?
Hold on a second. So where's the Levitical law that allows you to marry a child?
Oh, yeah.
Can you name the verse?
Well, I can't name the verse, but the particular conditions that are listed in the Bible. Are
Why are they running down the Bible thing? He could probably argue this pretty well, but like his point here is actually really good. If you think someone does something immoral, then like it doesn't really matter if they're deceived into believing it's good, right? Like you know, pedophiles were deceived into thinking pedophilia was okay or whatever by the culture at the time. You would not really stop that really stop you from saying that it's
that
immoral.
you have to be physical maturity and emotional maturity, which is extremely vague and throughout society.
Right.
Has
So
been
he would
seen
be
in
1,000
men.
times better if he is slowed down.
Let's kind of go
Okay,
back.
so when is
let's go
the
back
age
to
of consent
abortion.
under your view?
Let's go back. Well, generally agreed upon is 18 years old. But let me ask you.
But you, because you don't go based on what's generally agreed. You go based on the Bible.
I say 18 years old. But let me ask you a question.
Where's that in the Bible?
When does life begin?
That's what LDS is
Conception, right,
Christian.
good. So should we protect all
They
life
don't
at
believe in
conception?
I care about sentient life, not
Sentient.
cellular
So when do
life.
brainwaves start?
Do you think brain dead people should be able to pull the plug? Like a family should be able to pull the
Thank you. Yes. Nobody, please, they better not vote him out. Please. Okay. He's going to say, when do brainwaves start? And I think he's going to say like 6 weeks, which I think is true. Like there are brainwaves at 6 weeks. That doesn't mean you're fucking conscious at 6 weeks. Okay. Worms have brainwaves too, but
plug on an individual.
Hold on, you
family
gotta
that's
answer
brain
the question. When do brainwaves start?
You can see brainwaves around 6 to 8 weeks, which in
I
brain
agree
dead
with that.
individual, there are brainwaves as well. So the
Got it.
brainwaves necessary to produce a
What-
subjective experience
so
are met until around
can you see
18
it
through
from
26
my
weeks in the
can you
womb.
see it from my perspective?
Thank you,
That at
yes.
6 to 8 weeks, those brainwaves will actually increase, not decrease, if allowed the process of development to continue.
Did you know those same EEG
but he doesn't even care about that though. It's the thing, because he thinks abortion should be illegal before 6
exist in
weeks.
brain dead people that you don't think are
no,
sentient?
but the difference with the brain dead people is that the likelihood of those brainwaves actually increasing is very low. At 6 to 8 weeks, when by 15 weeks they can hear the
It's
mom's
impossible.
voice.
It's irreversible sensation. That's what brain death is. I
Hold on,
apparently didn't know that.
but no,
It's not coma.
But you're doing a red herring. Go back
No,
to
it's
6.
not. What's a red herring?
6 to 8. A red herring is where you avoid the topic and you say something that is adjacent or symmetrical to what I'm saying, but not actually I'm saying.
You mean a reductio ad absurdum? That's not a red herring.
A 6 to 8 week baby, if they're allowed to continue to develop, what ends up happening?
At a certain point, it will become a sentient being in the future. The same way that if I keep engaging in sex with my girlfriend, there'll be a baby in the future. Yet I don't care about the
unless
sperm.
you're infertile, which we don't know. But so let's see.
Oh wow, good argument,
See the
Charlie.
process of development, right? Why
do you want to answer my question yet?
Why do you have the ability or the right?
Should those child P3os go to prison?
The process of
should the pedophiles go to prison?
From 1904. How many pedophiles are alive from 1904?
They're not alive, right? I meant like if you can go back in the past, hypothetically speaking, and you could put them in prison. Would you put them in prison?
I would have killed them myself if I was alive.
Okay, so then you don't apply it based upon what people are deceived to believe. You apply it based on what you consider to be moral. So women who had abortions, you think they should go to prison. So why should women who get abortions go to prison? But someone like my mom who told me that Santa Claus exists shouldn't go to prison.
This is not going to be a constructive debate if you keep on talking over me.
Well, I was finishing my statement. You were talking over me. Go for it.
Let me ask you a very simple
question. Oh my God! Please do not vote him out. Please do not vote him out.
It depends on the context. Like, are the abortions prior to sentience?
Yes,
because I
all
think,
abortions.
No, it would not be necessarily better unless it is the case
abortion?
that the people didn't want the abortions and it would be negatively impactful to their health medically speaking.
Are you against late-term abortion?
After sentience, yes.
Okay, so you believe in an 8-week abortion ban?
Yeah. No, I don't. Sorry, I believe in an abortion ban after 18 through 26 weeks.
Okay, that's a more reasonable position. I have to give you credit for that.
Okay, thank God. Yes, please.
15 weeks?
Yeah, so why do you think that most people don't share your view on that?
Well, people just don't know.
What a dumbass. Can you not just debate him on his view?
I don't really know what sentience is. There's not a lot of conversation about abortion. And these conversations are very difficult. Like, they're conceptually hard to go through. And I understand why a lot of people don't understand their positions on it. But I think people
are aware most
You're cutting me off. I thought we weren't cutting people off.
I was actually complimenting.
Oh, no.
And these conversations are very
Why?
difficult. Like, they're conceptually hard to go through. And I understand why a lot of people don't understand their positions on it.
So
but I think people
are aware most
You're cutting me off.
Americans
I thought we were...
How are you? Nice to see you.
So I just have one question. There's, like, in any case, you don't think there's any case where abortion should be legal?
There's a very, very rare couple cases.
Okay, so you do think that a couple cases it is legal?
If cesarean section is not going to save the mother's life, and the mother's life is actually at risk, which is debated amongst growing numbers of OBGYNs, that is the only case where abortion should be allowed. But people say it is a growing consensus in the pro-life world that abortion is never medically necessary.
Okay, so if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped, and she was going to give birth and she would and she was going to give birth and she was going to live. Would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
But it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I'm aware what you think, vocalist.
One is a baby conceived in one is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
Your daughter was probably hopefully conceived by a somewhat loving couple.
Conceived by Tell me which one was conceived by
You don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights and it's all human beings.
But that doesn't matter. It's about your daughter who has to give birth to it and is going to be tortured by that for the rest of her life. That's going to take away every freedom she's ever going to have. That's going to ruin her.
Let the TikTok debaters speak again. Let the TikTok debaters speak again, please.
She's going to grow up and she's going to be attached to another thing.
The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant. What human rights you get. Hold on 1 second. If a person conceived in walks on the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights. And say, hey, we're going to go murder the being inside of you.
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't know.
Listen.
But wouldn't it be a better story to say something evil happened and we do something good in the face of evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then murder the being because we're going to pander to the evil? No. What makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
It's not about the being in the cells. It's not about. No. I'm speaking. No, 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 I'm speaking.
Got it.
Thank you. So it's not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person. No. I'm talking about the person.
Oh, relatable.
Who is dealing with the pregnancy. I am not talking about the cells. I don't care. No, listen.
Is she speaking?
The fetus,
I don't
whatever.
know.
I don't care about that right now until it is formed. If there is a 5-year-old child who is pregnant and the baby is 2 weeks in utero, actually they have given birth. There is
Thank for the follow, Centarius One. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream, buddy.
There is one recorded case of a 5-year-old girl who gave birth.
Is that common?
Yes, it's common. 5-year-olds get sometimes, and if they get pregnant, I think they should be able to have medical access.
Oh, it's Panda, of course. It's not Panda, the other account isn't verified. Okay.
Save not only just their life, but like their livelihood.
How many? I'm curious.
I hope your daughter lives a very happy life and gets away from you.
Okay, so
we did one good topic, okay? And now we're doing culture war stuff. Woohoo! Yay! We had one sort of substantive debate, okay? And now it's all culture war shit. Can't wait. That's so